Hey there, welcome back to my channel. Wait, do people still say that? I mean, it's 2023, I've been gone for a long time. I'm not even sure what's trending now. But anywho, if you don't already know, my name is Cynthia. I'm a property investor and an Airbnb host. Now, I know I have been MIA for a while because life has been lifing, guys, honestly. Like, I've been busy, okay? But guess what? I'm back with a bang. Okay, and I am ready to share some valuable insights on how you can get started in property investment, particularly Airbnb. But first, who am I and why am I yapping away about starting Airbnb? I have been an Airbnb host for the past 4 years, and yeah, we survived a whole 2020 and all the madness that went down. In the last 4 years, I have created a 6-figure Airbnb business and have amassed a property portfolio of over £3 million. I am also a property investment coach and mentor, and I am dedicated to helping you get started in properties. So today we'll be discussing how to start your Airbnb business in 5 simple steps. Starting an Airbnb business really doesn't need to be a daunting task, right? It doesn't need to be a hair-pulling, stress-inducing experience. None of all of that, right? With the right information and the right knowledge, you will be able to start an Airbnb business like a pro. So let's dive right in, shall we? Step 1, choosing a location and market research. So these two go hand in hand, because when you're in the process of choosing a location to invest in for your Airbnb business, you want to make sure that that area or that location has, some sort of demand for Airbnb actually. So you need to do some market research and make sure that there's demand in the area that you have decided to invest in. Choosing a location is quite easy. If you can't decide, then just go with the first city or town that comes to mind, or somewhere that is close to you. The hard part is actually doing the market research, and this is the area that a lot of people actually mess up. People get excited and forget to actually research the area. So it's not just about finding the right property and securing the deal, but is there demand for your property in that area? Unless you want to end up with a liability in your hands, then you must conduct thorough market research in the area before you take on any property for Airbnb. This will help you determine if there is enough demand to actually support your Airbnb business, and also help you identify what the competition looks like. You can simply conduct a market research by going on Airbnb, seeing what similar properties are doing in the area. Are they getting bookings? Do they have reviews? Do they have the rare find icon to show that their properties are fully booked up? So basically what the rare find means is that these properties, like, there's so much demand in the area that this person's property is always fully booked. You can also use this lovely website called AirDNA, which allows you to do a quick market analysis to understand what the average occupancy rate in the area is. My top tip for choosing a location and market research is you only want to invest in an area with at least a 55% occupancy rate, amongst other factors, of course. Step 2, finding the perfect property. The hunt for the perfect property, eh? Now, a lot of people think to start an Airbnb business, you need to find like a castle in the sky or some secret underwater lair. Yeah, although all of that would be nice and cool, but you don't need all that to get started. Finding the right property for you is all about finding the property that aligns with your goals, your budget, and the location that you have chosen to invest in. But most importantly, it's also finding a property that is actually in demand. So how or where do we even start to find the perfect property? The very first step is to go into any property search engine. It doesn't matter what part of the world you are, just go to this property search engine in your country. In the UK, we use things like Zoopla, Rightmove, Prime Location. So I would just go on Rightmove, do a quick property search, choose any location of your choice, and unless you have like tens of thousands of pounds sitting in your account and you're ready to buy a property, you'd want to choose the to rent option. Okay, choose a budget that works for you, set any of the filters you want, and hit search. Now look at the properties that come up, find one or a couple that you're interested in, and contact the agent or homeowner. It's literally that simple. My top tip for finding the perfect property is if you can find a property with character, you know, something that stands out from the rest but is still within your budget, then that's typically what you would want to go for, because those unique properties are literally cash cows when it comes to Airbnb. Just remember, the perfect property isn't just about location or amenities. It's about capturing that unique charm and finding something that works for you and is right for where you are right now. Step 3, setting up and designing your Airbnb haven. This is definitely one of the most interesting parts of this business for me. Once you've secured your perfect property and you've done your market research and you can see that there's demand in the area, and it's time for you to now go ahead and set up that beautiful house and put it on Airbnb. Designing your Airbnb property is all about colors, themes, and creating that wow factor that when your guests literally step foot into your property, they are blown away, and creating that wow factor that will leave your guests raving in the reviews. You want to create a space that is warm, cozy, and stylish that your guests will love, literally like another home away from home for them. From choosing the right color scheme and picking out those quirky decor pieces, you want to turn your property into a mini 5-star retreat, or at least a 4-star retreat. Don't be afraid to add a splash of your personality and like your personal style into your setup, but keep it light though. Don't go too heavy with it. Don't overdo it. Because you like pink doesn't mean that everything in the house has to be pink, even like pink tissue and all that. No, that's OTT, okay? Like, just add like a splash of your personality in there, because you love it doesn't mean that everyone else is going to love it. You're going to have some people that will love it, some people won't. So just, keep it a little bit on the minimal. My top tip for setting up your Airbnb property is use Pinterest for decor ideas. Even if decor isn't really your thing, you can find loads of templates on Pinterest and just run with it. You can literally copy and paste it into your property. Step 4, now that your property is looking stunning, it's time to tackle pricing. You need to set the right prices that attracts guests and maximizes your profit, and also keeps you ahead of competition, to be honest. When setting your nightly prices, just remember that since you're new on Airbnb, you need to come in a little bit lower than the competition, okay? Because you really need those first few reviews to get the ball rolling. So you need to give your potential guests that extra incentive to actually choose your place over others. Top tip for setting the prices: make sure you're using Airbnb smart pricing tool to help monitor the changes in demand and also alter your prices accordingly without you having to do much of the work. Top tip when it comes to setting your prices for Airbnb is make sure your weekend rates are at least 20% more than that of the weekdays. Step 5, Airbnb housekeeping. This is probably the most important part of an Airbnb business, and a lot of people ignore this too often. You get excited and you're filled with like the rush of excitement of starting an Airbnb business that a lot of people tend to forget that it actually requires a whole nother level of housekeeping. So ensure you make plans on how your property will be maintained. So ask yourself questions like, who will be doing the cleaning? How will the cleaning be done? When will the cleaning be done? Would you hire a professional or would you do it yourself? What will you do about linens? Will you wash them yourself? By the way, I highly do not recommend. Would you hire a linen company to cater to all your linen needs, or would you outsource your entire housekeeping needs to a company? You need to make sure you understand exactly how it is you want to run your business in terms of like the housekeeping. Make sure you put systems and plans in place for this to be run effectively once your business starts. Whatever you do or whatever you decide, make sure you have it all figured out before your guests start to come in. When it comes to like Airbnb properties, it has to be squeaky clean at all times. Like, if you can't keep your Airbnb property clean, then I'm sorry, this business is just not for you, because it's not going to work. You're going to get negative reviews, you're going to get complaints, you're going to get sanctions and fines from Airbnb, and you're just gonna lose money and just be like, oh, it doesn't work. But it does. You just didn't keep your property clean. So yeah, just to avoid all of that, to avoid it, like, just if you can't keep your property clean, don't even bother starting an Airbnb business, because it's just gonna save you a lot of headache. Okay, my top tip for housekeeping is make sure you use white linens and clean on every checkout day. This is actually 2 tips in one. Use white linens for your bed linens and towels. Make sure you use white because they're easier to manage and maintain. They're easier to wash. And 2, make sure you clean on every checkout day. So those are the 5 top steps you need to get started with your Airbnb business. But because I'm feeling extra generous today, I will add a 6th step. The 6th and final step that I want to share with you guys today is rocking the guest experience. Once you've got your property on Airbnb and it's all listed, you set it up, and all that beautiful side of it is all completed, the next thing you want to do is make sure that you just bang out the guest experience, right? Like, give your guests like an experience that will blow their mind, because this is where the magic happens. It's all about, you know, you becoming a hospitality superstar and providing exceptional guest experiences for your guests. You need to make sure that your guests feel like royalty. Like, from the moment they step foot into your property or your Airbnb, they feel special, they feel loved. So where possible, make sure you provide personalized welcome gifts. You know, some people are quite good with their hands. Is there something that you make, or perhaps you've got another business or a hobby of yours where you create things, like, you know, it could be anything, souvenirs. Package it all up and give it to your guests as a welcome gift, and let them know that it was handmade by you. Let your guests see the creative side of you, and if you're not creative in that way, that's fine. Just make a little gift bag and give it away to your guests. You can put things like earplugs, face masks, and leave a note for your guests. Your guests will absolutely love it. You can also go as far as sharing local tips and advice, and even like secrets on anything really that makes your guests feel special. Okay, my top tip for smashing your guest experience is to make sure that you provide bottles of fresh water in the fridge or outside the fridge, it doesn't matter, but make sure there are bottles of water ready for your guests when they arrive. Nobody wants to be thirsty when they've traveled after miles, you know, and they've checked into a room where there's no water. People get salty about them kind of things. So make sure that you have bottles of water, and even where possible, little snacks or fruits for your guests. So there you have it, the 5 simple steps to starting your Airbnb business, plus 1 extra step, I know. Now, with the right knowledge, a little bit of creativity, and a lot of determination, anybody can create a successful Airbnb business. If you enjoyed watching this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell right now. And hey, if you've got any burning questions that you would like to ask, or you just want to share your Airbnb journey, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.